Hello, welcome back to my channel. I know, guys, it has been a long time since I got on here and updated you guys, but today is the day that I update you guys and let you know what's been going on. Um, as I remember, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in it. Long story, but I'm going to try to make it short. Um, for you guys that don't know, um, I did suffer a miscarriage. I made it up until like 7 weeks before like they actually seen something was wrong. So what happened was the last video I posted, I told you guys that I had went and got a ultrasound, and I was kind of upset with the ultrasound tech because she didn't like tell me any information, so I was kind of like stuck. I didn't know what was going on. So when I went to see my doctors, she told me that she went okay, so I went back to the doctor after that, like a week later. Because when I got my ultrasound, you usually go see the doctor like right afterwards, but I didn't. I was scheduled for like an appointment like a week after the ultrasound. So when I went back a week later to get those results, they told me, well, the doctor was like, soon as I went in there, she had brought an ultrasound machine in there, and she did an ultrasound. She went on top of my stomach. I was kind of confused because when you saw earlier, you should do like a vaginal ultrasound, but she didn't. So she went on top of my stomach, and she had told me that that they seen a gestational sac, but they needed to see a yolk sac. So she did it, and on the ultrasound, basically, she was just like, okay, there it is. I see it. I didn't see anything. Like, I seen it, but it was like a little sack. But you could like barely see it. She was like, it's so tiny you can barely see it. So at that point, I just felt like since the doctor said everything was fine, I was okay. I wasn't having like any bleeding or anything. I was still having a little discharge, but she told me that was as to be expected. So she told me that was normal, that was fine, as long as I wasn't gushing blood or anything. So I did have like another appointment scheduled with another doctor because I want to like venture out, and find somebody a little bit more up my league that I felt like really cared and things like that. So I believe it was like a week later, I went to an appointment with another doctor. And soon as I got there, the staff was very nice. They got my information and everything. I had to sign a release form because, of course, they wanted to get all my medical records from the hospital that had originally did all my blood work and everything. So when I went back, she told me undress head to toe. I was kind of confused because that was the first time I have heard that in a long time. The doctor immediately came in, asked me a few questions. I told him about my tubal reversal surgery, things like that, and he did a breast exam. He also told me that he understand that I had already did a pelvic exam, but he wanted to do one on his own. So it was him. He had a nurse in the room, and he had another physician in there. I believe that he was training that person. So after he did the pelvic exam, he did the ultrasound vaginally. As he was doing it, he immediately looked around a little bit, and he said, "This doesn't look like a healthy, normal pregnancy." When he said that, I stopped. I dropped because when he told me that he was going to do an ultrasound, I was hoping that, okay, maybe the baby, since I had got ultrasound the week prior, I was hoping that, okay, maybe the baby done growed and I could see a heartbeat. But when he said that he only seen the gestational set and not the yolk set, I immediately knew something was wrong. And he told me, he was like, hey, he was like, don't lose hope. He was like, it's a possibility that you could be, earlier than what you think you are. He was like, or, you're getting ready to experience a miscarriage. So after I left, guys, well, let me slow down. So he told me that he wanted to check my HCG levels. So he told me he'll do that. And then he told me to come back. So that was a Thursday. So he told me to come back on Monday and they'll do it again. Now, mind you, the following week when I was supposed to go back, that Wednesday was Christmas. So I knew that the office was going to be closed. So that Thursday, I left the doctor's office and I just prayed. I was like, I don't know what's finna happen, but I was hoping for the best. Friday came, I started spotting a little bit more heavier. It was on and off. Saturday came, I started cramping really, really bad, guys, and I started bleeding. So I went to the ER, and they didn't really tell me anything. They would just gave me a little bit of pain meds and told me to follow up with my OB doctors. When a Monday came, I went and I got the HCG levels drawn. So Tuesday came, I was hoping that they were going to call me and give me an update. Wednesday came, the office was closed because it was Christmas. Thursday came, I said, you know what, forget it, I'm going to call. So when I called them, they immediately said my levels was dropping. So I believe it was like 11,000. And then she said it had went down to like 10,000. At that point, I just knew that now I'm just waiting for my body to reject the pregnancy and me to start bleeding and things. After that, that was on a Thursday. That Friday came, I sat around. Saturday came again, and I was in so much pain. I had to go to the ER, and it was horrible, guys. I had to sit in the waiting room, wait to be seen. I was just in so much pain. They took me upstairs. They did ultrasound. The ultrasound tech lady, guys, she was so nice. She asked me, she was like, is it okay? Me and her talked. I told her about my tubal reversal surgery. Me and my husband was trying to get pregnant. So I told her if I was experiencing a miscarriage, then, I already know. I told her if I was experiencing a miscarriage, it was okay for her to tell me because I already kind of knew and had that feeling. Text Shamaya and tell her I said okay. So she told me, she was like, yes, you are experiencing a miscarriage. There's no baby or anything like that. I was okay with it because I had already set my mind to, okay, I'm not having a healthy pregnancy. So I kind of knew what was getting ready to take place. However, the pain was horrible. The HCG levels when they did it in the ER, it had dropped down to a 6,000. So that was like a major jump from like when I had got it done that Monday. Guys, a miscarriage is horrible. I was in so much pain. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I mean, the pain was worse than period cramps. And when I went to the ER, the OB doctor came down. She talked to me, told me I was having a miscarriage, and she told me that to speed up the process, I could either get a D&C, which is surgery to, they would go in and clean me out, or I can do these 4 pills, which you would take the 4 pills, you would put it in you, put it vaginally in you, and it will open up your cervix and everything would come out. So I told her, then she was like, if I do decide to go the D&C route, they would have to put me on a waiting list and it's going to take a while. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let me just try the pills at home and try it that way. So I came home the next morning. I went ahead and did it. The pain was still horrible. Sunday came. Pain was still horrible. Monday came. I ended up going back to the ER and it was taking so long, guys. I was just over it. So I called my doctor and they was like, hey, just come back in on Thursday. We can't see, we don't have openings. If you're hurting that bad, bleeding that bad, go back to the ER. Me, I refused to go back to the ER because it was people in the flu, people coming in on an ambulance, and it was too much, guys. So Wednesday came. And when Wednesday came, I felt like I had to take a bowel movement. So I sat on the toilet for about 20 minutes, wasn't nothing happening. As I stood up, I felt something drop out, and then I sat back down, and that's when the huge sac, the blood clots that was left in me fell out. And when it fell out, I felt like a huge relief, like I had just gave birth. So that feeling was, it was horrible, and it was like mentally draining. And I tell you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was like real frustrated with God and upset, because I'm like, okay, this was my second pregnancy after my miscarriage, and I really thought that this was gonna be the one for me. So I was just mentally drained, frustrated, and I went to the doctor. Me and my husband went. We talked to the doctor. We was trying to figure out why, um, this is going on with me. And he told me, he was like, miscarriages. Sometimes you have a reason for a miscarriage, and sometimes you don't. And at this point, they didn't see anything, or they didn't know of anything that could have caused me to have a miscarriage. So they was telling me like it was just normal. And they told me that, I asked them, being that I had the tubal reversal surgery, is that causing me to have miscarriages? And he said no, the only thing that they worry about after the tubal reversal surgery is scar tissue built up in your tubes, and you having a tubal pregnancy. He was like, it was great that I didn't have that. My pregnancy made it to my uterus, so that's not what they're concerned about. So he told me to just go see a fertility doctor specialist, and just let them run a couple tests and things like that, and just go from there. Me and my husband is going to go get some fertility workup, even though I believe that we're fine. You just never know, and you want to be sure. um for the women that's out there, that's going through this, I know what you're going through. It's hard to say just be faithful and have trust in God, and just be strong. At this point, being strong is really hard for me, and I'm not going to be strong right now. I'm going to continue to pray and believe and trust in God, but um it is hurtful that I think about, if I didn't have a miscarriage in July, then my baby would be born in March, and that's like a couple of months from now. And then I'm like, if I didn't have a miscarriage this time, my baby would have been born in July. So it's real frustrating. And I told my husband that I think I'm gonna go on birth control for a while, because I don't want to keep getting pregnant and having losses. Um, I don't want to ever experience that again. And I know it's all God's will, but I think I'm going to slow down for a while for our TTC and focus on like working and getting a career, getting a business started, and things like that. Um, but however, I'm still going to be going, to the doctor's appointment, get my fertility workup, just to see, like, is there anything I can do. And another thing my doctor told me is, next time I do get pregnant, they will test my progesterone. This time they told me they did not want to do it, because they only test it so early in pregnancy if it's like reoccurring miscarriages. So he promised me that next time I do get pregnant, that they will test it, and they will give me medicine for, if it's needed. So guys, now guys, I'm going to continue to post like videos. I mean, I don't know where my heart's going to be tomorrow. I don't know what's going to be next week or 2 weeks from there, but I will continue to like post videos and let you guys follow my everyday life and routine. I will keep you guys updated as far as my fertility doctor, and how I plan on TTC in the future. Just like I said, I want to go on birth control for a while. Me and my husband, we still have to discuss it. I did say, okay, we should use condoms. He's not with that, but we'll talk about that further on, and we'll talk about that another time. But I'm just to the point right now. I just don't want to get pregnant and it happen all over again. So, that is what happened. That's what's been going on, y'all guys, in the past few weeks. I haven't even worked like in almost a whole month, because I've been dealing with this pregnancy. But I thank you guys for watching. Just continue to pray for me. I'll continue to pray for you guys. And just stay encouraged and be blessed, guys. Until next time, I will see you guys later. That was my story. Thank you for watching.